into 15 of the greatest songs that defined the golden age of progressive rock. In the late 60s and mid-70s, Prog reimagined what rock could be, ambitious, experimental, and boundary-breaking. These tracks showcase the genre's daring blend of classical influences, jazz improvisation, and epic storytelling, marking a fearless chapter in music history.
Nights in white satin.
The Moody Blues were the true pioneers of progressive rock, and Nights in White Satin from their 1967 album, Days of Future Past, is proof.
Gazing at people.
Justin Hayward was only 19 when he wrote it, pouring pure emotion into every lyric. What set this song apart was its sweeping orchestral arrangement by Peter Knight. Rock had never sounded this cinematic. And that spoken late lament poem at the end, it gave the whole track a mysterious, otherworldly feel.
And I love you. Yes, I love you.
Many see this as one of the very first prog rock songs, showing the world that rock music could be ambitious, atmospheric, and timeless.
Waiting for my savior, stones tear me limb from limb.
The first time I heard A Plague of Lighthouse Keepers, I just sat there, stunned. It didn't feel like a song at all. It felt like being pulled into a psychological drama. Fender Graaf Generator dropped it in 1971 on Pawn Hearts, and it's still their boldest piece. You follow this lonely lighthouse keeper trapped in his own mind, staring down isolation, death, and fate. Peter Hamill doesn't just sing, he practically performs every emotion while the saxophones scream and the mellotron swells around him. It's 10 sections stitched together into one haunting experience. They almost never played it live, but for Prog fans, it's a legend. If you've ever wondered what prog rock sounds like on a lazy summer afternoon, Caravan's 9 Feet Underground is it. Closing their 1971 classic In the Land of Grey and Pink, this nearly 23-minute track is a masterclass in subtle, jazz-tinged prog. It moves through 8 connected sections, each with its own mood and rhythm, but everything feels effortless. Richard Sinclair's warm, laid-back vocals and Dave Sinclair's fluid organ lines tie it all together beautifully. What makes this song so special to me is how unpretentious it feels. While many prog bands were going bigger, louder, and flashier, Caravan proved you could be just as ambitious while keeping things calm, hypnotic, and deeply musical. It's prog for daydreamers.
And sometimes I think of why song and laughter flowing free.
Focus came out of the Netherlands in the early 70s, bringing a fresh and often playful spirit to progressive rock. Their breakthrough song, Hocus Pocus, released in 1971, is one of the most eccentric and energetic tracks in the genre. It's built on blistering hard rock riffs and Pierre van der Linden's lightning-fast drumming, but what makes it unforgettable are the unexpected twists. Yodeling, whistling, and bursts of humor that set it apart from other prog acts. Guitarist Jan Akkerman is front and center here, moving effortlessly between razor-sharp riffs and crystal-clear melodic solos. The band's musicianship is on full display, proving prog could be virtuosic and precise without losing its sense of fun, making Hocus Pocus a true prog classic. I've always seen Thick as a Brick as one of rock's boldest statements. Released in 1972, it's a single 44-minute track disguised as a parody of concept albums, supposedly based on a poem by a fictional child. But behind the humor is serious musicianship. Ian Anderson's flute and theatrical vocals lead a whirlwind of folk, rock, and classical elements, with constant shifts in time and tone. What started as satire became a prog rock landmark, proving an album could be ambitious, complex, and still playful.
He accompanied himself with a little tune. Went like this.
Genesis were already known for their theatrical flair in the early 70s, but Supper's Ready, released in 1972 on Foxtrot, cemented their place in prog rock history. Spanning 23 minutes and divided into 7 distinct sections, it's a wild journey through surreal imagery, biblical references, and shifting musical landscapes. Peter Gabriel delivers a truly dramatic vocal performance, almost acting out each scene, while Tony Banks's intricate keyboards and Steve Hackett's inventive guitar work move seamlessly from tender ballads to explosive apocalyptic climaxes. The final section, Apocalypse in 9/8, is often called one of prog's greatest moments. This wasn't just a song, it was a statement of ambition, showcasing Genesis at their creative peak before they stepped toward mainstream success.
Has returned to meet his children, home to take them to their doom.
Moving on to Yes, they released Close to the Edge on September 13th, 1972, as the title track of Close to the Edge. This 18-minute suite stands as a defining achievement of progressive rock. Split into 3 movements, the solid time of change, total mass retain, and I get up, I get down. It weaves spiritual themes with intricate arrangements and soaring melodies.
Watch one woman cry.
John Anderson's philosophical lyrics, Steve Howe's inventive guitar, and Rick Wakeman's lush keyboards form a symphonic masterpiece that became a blueprint for prog and remains essential listening. Tubular Bells was a total game changer. In 1973, Mike Oldfield was just 19 when he recorded it, playing and layering dozens of instruments all by himself. The piece moves from these eerie, minimalist passages to huge, dramatic climaxes. Of course, that haunting piano theme became famous thanks to The Exorcist. But the full album is so much more. Gentle folk touches, pastoral sections, and a big finale where every instrument gets its moment. It proved prog could be bold, ambitious, and still sell.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. I'm so glad you could attend.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. That line perfectly sums up the sheer spectacle of Emerson, Lake and Palmer's Carn Evil 9. This isn't just a song, it's a 30-minute roller coaster. A three-part suite that fuses rock, classical grandeur, and futuristic storytelling. The first section feels like stepping into a twisted carnival. The second explodes into a wild, jazz-infused duel.
Let the bridge computers speak.
And the finale throws humanity into battle with machines.
But I give you life.
Keith Emerson's keys are jaw-dropping, switching from Hammond organ storms to intricate mini Moog runs, while Greg Lake's commanding vocals and Carl Palmer's thunderous drumming give it all muscle. This track wasn't just prog, it was a revolution. Another gem in the prog rock era is Renaissance. Now, Renaissance gave prog a rich, symphonic edge, and their 1973 track, Ashes Are Burning, shows just how powerful that mix could be. It starts softly, almost like a hymn, before building into massive, sweeping crescendos driven by Annie Haslam's stunning 5-octave range. Michael Dunford's acoustic guitar, John Tout's graceful piano, and John Camp's melodic bass weave a lush, layered sound. Then Andy Powell of Wishbone Ash steps in with a fiery electric solo to close it out. A mystical, emotional, and unforgettable prog classic.
You may not have all you want, or you need all that you've had.
Gentle Giant's Proclamation from their 1974 album, The Power and the Glory, is a sharp, politically charged track.
Hope will reflect in me. I think everyone has.
Kerry Minier's clavinet groove sets the stage for Derek Schulman's commanding vocals, while shifting time signatures create tension. The band's precision and unpredictability shine as layers of complexity build. Proclamation is pure Gentle Giant, bold, intricate, and fearless, proving prog could challenge listeners and still groove hard.
To power and to glory's way.
Let's move on to the next masterpiece. Camel's 1974 track Lady Fantasy from Mirage captures their perfect mix of melody and musicianship. Andy Latimer's guitar lines weave emotion into every note, while Peter Barden's keys add atmosphere and depth. The recurring themes make the piece feel cohesive yet full of surprises. It's not just a showcase of skill, it's heartfelt and timeless, earning its spot as a beloved prog rock favorite. Good old Zappa should, of course, be in this video. Frank Zappa's Inca Roads from the 1975 album One Size Fits All is a perfect example of how progressive rock could be both playful and incredibly complex. The track opens with vibraphone interplay before diving into dazzling solos, including a legendary guitar solo recorded live and seamlessly edited into the studio version, a testament to Zappa's perfectionism and technical genius.
Did a vehicle come from somewhere out there?
Lyrically, it's absurd and satirical, poking fun at UFO theories and ancient civilizations, but beneath the humor lies some of the most intricate musicianship in prog. Zappa and his band navigate wild time signatures and key changes with ease, proving they were as tight as they were adventurous. Inca Roads captures Zappa's fearless spirit, showing that prog didn't have to be serious to be groundbreaking. In 1975, Pink Floyd released Shine On You Crazy Diamond, a 9-part epic honoring Syd Barrett. David Gilmour's 4-note riff instantly sets a tone of nostalgia and loss. During recording, Barrett unexpectedly visited, nearly unrecognizable, leaving the band stunned. That haunting moment made this tribute even more emotional. Written by Gilmour Waters, and Wright, it's more than a song. It's a farewell and a reminder of Barrett's brilliance, with its slow build, rich textures, and heartbreaking backstory.
Come on, you stranger, you matter, shine.
Shine On remains one of prog rock's most powerful statements, proof that emotional depth could be just as essential to prog as technical skill. Rush's 1976 masterpiece, 2112, is a 20-minute sci-fi epic that redefined their career.
We shall inherit the earth.
Told in 6 parts, it imagines a dystopian future where music is outlawed only to inspire rebellion. Geddy Lee's soaring vocals and Alex Lifeson's searing riffs create drama, while Neil Peart's drumming drives the intensity.
Lie a while in bed. Just think of what my life might be.
Taking up the entire first side of the album, 2112 was a bold gamble that paid off, cementing Rush as prog rock legends.
Planets of the Solar Federation. Attention, all planets of the Solar Federation.
From its bold beginnings in the late 60s to its polished masterpieces of the mid-70s, prog rock redefined what music could be. These songs aren't just tracks, they're journeys, ambitious, daring, and unforgettable. Some bands became legends, others cult heroes, but their influence continues to inspire musicians everywhere.